Hey peeps, welcome back to another math vid. And today we are going to be looking at some more functions, but this time it's actually more complicated and it's a bit hard. So, number 1, use the table to answer the following question. Input and output, as always, in functions. So you got 1 and 4, 2 and 7, 4 and 13, 8, 25, and 15, and just a random y. And our question is, what is the value of y? Well, we need to know the actual function before we can know that. So we've got 1 and 4. Well, you could try plus 3, I guess, but then it wouldn't work for the other one, so plus 3 is definitely not it. Really, just see that all of these numbers, they're increasing, aren't they? Yeah, they are. See, it says like 1 to 4, 2 to 7, and so on. So it has to be multiplied by something and then add something, or multiplied by something or subtract something, but it has to get larger. So let's think of a way this could work. And you can kind of see here, right off the bat, your brain would kind of think, hey, well, 1 times 4 equals 4. It's probably 4 times, right? No, it's not, because you can see that here, 2 times 4 would equal 8, so that's too big. So let's try multiplying it by something smaller. So what about multiplied by 3? Well, then 1 multiplied by 3 is just 3, but that's only 1 away from 4, isn't it? So what about multiplied by 3 plus 1? It certainly works for number 1. Oh, yeah, and if you were trying to do, hey, if it was with plus 1, why couldn't you just subtract 1 for times 4? Because then it wouldn't work for the first one. Because 1 times 4 is just 4, and then 4 subtract 1 would equal 3. So it's not times 4, subtract 1. But multiplied by 3 plus 1 is 2 times 3 equals 6, plus 1, which is 7. 4 times 3 equals 12, plus 1 is 13. 8 times 3 plus 1 is 25. So it has to be 15 times 3 plus 1 would equal y. And 15 times 3, as I like to imagine it, is kind of like a clock. You know, one section is 15, so 3 sections would be 45. And 45 plus 1 is 46. And yes, that is one of our answer choices. So the correct answer is C. Pretty simple still. Alright, so number 2. Use the table to answer the following question. Input and output again. So we've got 2, 11, 3, 16, 5, 26, 8, 41, and 11, 56. And yeah, times 2, another warning. Some people might be able to see right through this, but some people might not. So for the people who might not, let's go with the classic strat. So here we have which output number would result from an input of 0. And yeah, well, the input number is not on the chart, and there's no variable, but you know what it is, so you can still solve it. And then again, you see here, 5 and 26. Well, one of the first basics of multiplication, 5 times 5 equals 25, right? Well, 25, as same logic as the first one, 25 is 1 away from 26. So if you plus 1, it would equal 26. And let's just try that strat for now. And we can look right away at 2 and 11. 2 times 5 is 10. And 10 plus 1 equals 11. So yeah, that one's already had worked for 2, but let's try on another one just to make sure. 3 times 5 is 15, and 15 plus 1 would equal 16. So it's already working on 3. So, most likely in this situation, you can kind of guess that it's probably times 5 plus 1. If you're on a test, To try and save time, you should probably not go down and it's like, oh yes, so this one's right, and this one's right, and this one's right, and this one's right, and this one's right, yes, yes, yes. And then like 10 minutes later, you still haven't finished this one question. Okay, but since this is practice, we can kind of go back and check it. So we've already checked these 3, and they're all correct. But we still haven't checked these bottom 2. So 8 times 5 is 40, and 40 plus 1 is 41, so yes, it works for number 4. And 11 times 5 is 55, and 55 plus 1 equals 56. So yeah, it also works for number 5. But it's not asking us what the function is, it's asking us which output number would result from an input of 0. So following that same ideal, 0 times 5 is 0. Just going to write that down. And 0 plus 1 equals 1. So the correct answer is 1. And for the more mastered multiplicationist, you can kind of tell that what the thing is just by looking at it. But you could also use that strat if you weren't sure or you just decided, hey, I actually don't know. And yeah, well, that's the end of this vid, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I also hope it helped you guys improve a bit in math. Not saying that you were bad, you were always good. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!